You keep an eye on that. Let us know if we've got any
We are
troll
live.
hunters in there.
Hello, Jules.
Hey there, my
Jules,
man, my love,
come closer
my
into
man.
the vertical camera space
I'll
that we've
try, but
allowed ourselves.
I'll try, but
Tonight we're going to be talking about
the seat is not comfortable.
Suzanne.
Only this time it's not Suzanne Morphew. This time it is Suzanne Simpson. But the two cases have a whole lot of parallels. And for those of you familiar with the Suzanne Morphew case, you'll see the parallels right off the
Boy,
get-go.
that's
And,
bright. That's not.
and for those of you who do not know the Suzanne Morphew case, if when we get to the end of the live we still have interest going on, we will talk about the Suzanne Morphew case and how it is similar to the Suzanne Simpson case. And of course, we're looking for our troll hunters, which is what we call our wonderful mods here on this channel. And in case you didn't,
Karen Lee is especially good at hunting trolls as well.
yeah, we do have a lot of trolls, unfortunately, but also since we're all about freedom of speech and such, it is, I guess, breeding ground for trolls. They come run along. They hear that you're willing to give them a chance, and they take a chance, but then they go a bit too far.
Let's
So
see about maybe timing some people out tonight instead of banning them completely.
immediately, anyway, unless they're especially heinous, because we want this to be a comfortable place for everyone. We don't want anybody to be afraid to come here, or anything like that. Anyhow, our first story of the night, because there's going to be more than one topic of discussion, but our first topic of discussion, I can't read my paper. It's too
Is
dark.
it too dark?
Yeah.
That's my fault.
I'm
We're gonna-
trying to.
Jules is going to read a
Can you
story
explain
that
it?
we.
Well, it's not reading a story at all. It's just I have some notes here because I was trying to refresh my memory. Because Suzanne Simpson was a 51-year-old mom of four who went missing out of San Antonio, Texas, last year in October, and it had lots of similarities just from the very first day to the Suzanne Morphew case, with the unbelievable husband who didn't seem to have the right amount of emotion when discussing his missing wife, and but also the Suzanne Simpson case was a throwback to the Patrick Frazee case. Patrick Frazee and Kelsey Barrett, as in that case, Patrick did not want to share custody of their child anymore. He and Kelsey were not together, or at least in his book, they weren't. He had another girlfriend named Crystal Kinney. He did not really want to be tied to Kelsey. Kelsey thought they were engaged. Kelsey and Patrick were living separate. He lived out on some property with his mom, and Kelsey lived in a townhouse in Woodland Park, and Patrick had said that he wanted to do Thanksgiving with Kelsey and that she could do the whole Thanksgiving dinner. And unfortunately, the last footage that anybody had of Kelsey alive
Karen,
was Kelsey
that guy's a troll.
and their baby shopping, trying to get goodies for Thanksgiving dinner. She was trying to get Patrick's favorites. And, outside of the townhouse condominiums, there were some cameras that showed that there was a disagreement between Patrick and Kelsey. Patrick went inside. He came out with a large plastic tote.
Oh, that is identical to the guy in Texas.
Put it into his truck, and also put the baby in to the vehicle in the car seat. And then he was seen driving around with the plastic tote in the back of his truck. And then at some point, no more plastic tote in the back of his truck. He took the baby to Thanksgiving at his mother's house, and at some point, Crystal Kenny was there at the property where his mom lived, and he torched the tote, and yeah, apparently the tote is where the remains of Kelsey were. The only thing that's ever been found of her is the DNA and fractured tooth pieces that were found in her home
In a
and
heater vent?
in a heater vent.
Mm-hmm.
And Kelsey was a wonderful mom, and the baby is being raised by her parents. Patrick, not such a good guy, and apparently he's doing life now. And Crystal Kenny, his girlfriend, she got a sweetheart of a deal where she testified against him, just spoke of how he had tried to get her to take Kelsey's life, and how he had gotten her to get down there and clean up the mess after he took Kelsey's life. And Crystal testified against him and everything, showed everybody where they could find evidence to show that he had done this crime. I think that Crystal should have gotten more time than she did, but she had the same attorneys that Barry Morphew had at the beginning. He doesn't have anybody from that firm anymore.
I am pretty, thank you.
But yeah, I digress. Anyway, back to October 6th of 2024. That is when Brad Simpson, the husband of Suzanne Simpson, said that his wife vanished. No note, no goodbye, no nothing. She was just gone, and her SUV was still in the driveway of their home, and there was just no sign of her. And she was leaving behind him and 4 kids, and this wasn't like her at all. She was a very successful real estate agent, sold multi-million-dollar homes.
You're free to comment.
She was in her early 50s, and all of her family attested to the fact that she would never just go off grid like that. Neighbors came forward with the disturbing information that the day before Suzanne was reported missing, that they had seen and heard and caught on ring cam Suzanne having an argument with Bradley in their front yard and their driveway, and they heard a woman screaming, and then they heard the sounds go over into the woods near the house, and then suddenly it stopped, and there was no more sound and no more sign of Suzanne ever. And Brad, in the couple days after Suzanne's disappearance, was seen on video buying lots of cleaning supplies, buying some plastic containers, and driving around town the day after her disappearance, going to various places with a bunch of trash bags in the bed of his truck with a tarp, and ditching trash bags all around. And no sign of Suzanne has turned up, but when police issued a search warrant on the property, they found a burned up laptop, they found several destroyed cell phones, and they found an electric saw that had DNA on it.
Dude.
Suzanne's DNA.
And somebody's got some explaining to do there. Those guys that do this kind of behavior, they all have similar motives, don't they?
Yeah. Anyway, Brad's trial begins in February. He still sits in jail because, unlike Barry Morphew, Bradley Simpson was not able to come up with his $3 million bond. And so there he sits.
That's $3 million being a magic number there.
Meanwhile, Suzanne's sister, Teresa, this is Suzanne Simpson's sister, not Suzanne Morphew. Suzanne Simpson's sister was just arrested there in Texas, and she is facing a $2,000 fine and up to how many days in jail? And up to 180 days in jail. She probably won't see that much because she's never been in trouble before, and there is a lot of emotional stuff going into this. What she's in trouble for is she is in trouble for harassing the family of Brad, her missing sister's husband. She is sure that Brad killed her sister. She just wants to know where her sister's remains are. She wants to bring her sister's remains home. She said she knew within 16 hours of her sister being missing that her sister was no longer on this planet,
Okay.
and that Brad was responsible for this. And so she has been busted for contacting his family members and ranting at them, saying, your whatever his relationship to them is, took my sister's life and I want answers, and you don't know who you're messing with. I'm not going to let this go. I'm never going to let this go, and stuff like that. And so that she's in trouble for harassment, and she has gone on record saying she will not let it rest until her sister has justice.
You just keep making noise for your sister there.
Yeah.
And let them scare you or make them like, don't be quiet about it.
Let's see. Oh yeah. And I guess I don't know if I mentioned or if I glossed over the fact that Brad, being seen on video buying the cleaning supplies and stuff, he also had gotten some plastic containers like the plastic container that Patrick Frazee had, and that he drove around for a while with those in the bed of his truck, and then at some point they vanished.
Dude, I wonder where those went.
And let's see, we found the burned laptop, the several destroyed cell phones, the electric handheld saw with the DNA.
You think it was a chainsaw, or did it go into any detail what kind of saw it was?
It did not go into detail on the program that I watched, where it just said an electric handheld saw, and that it had Suzanne's DNA and blood in it, and that on October 9th, 2024, Brad was arrested, and he showed very little emotion. Law enforcement made note of this, that there was no emotion in this guy as he's being charged with the murder of his wife. And right now, Brad's charges are include assault with a deadly weapon, causing serious bodily injury, and tampering with a corpse. And he's scheduled to go on trial in February. So I hope that Teresa gets the minimum, whatever that might be.
Dude, I hope she gets credit for time served, dude. Just leave her alone.
Yeah, and I hope that this does not dissuade her from standing up for her sister and getting what's right. But of course, I hope she stays on the correct side of the law when doing it. But I don't fault the woman with trying to get answers about what happened to her sister and whether this guy's family knew what he was about. And but right now, it's not the time for Teresa to be locked up. Right now, there are 4 kids that have lost their mother. Their dad's been in jail for the past year. He's probably going to go away for life. And now their aunt is arrested as well. Anyway.
Is that the end of the story?
That's all I have for that. And any comments anybody wants to make about the Suzanne Simpson
before we
case,
move on to the next
which
one.
took place in San Antonio, Texas. And now I'm sure people have seen the similarities between Brad Simpson and Barry Morphew
and Kelsey.
And that would be Patrick Frazee. They all men who think that they can get away with murder to get what they want. All guys who thought they would get away with it, that they just had to be smart about it and they could just throw away the women in their lives and get away with it. And hopefully, well, we know Patrick didn't get away with it, but hopefully these 2 other guys won't either.
So
Anyway.
we were telling about the shorts we put up today in Sacramento, California, where the helicopter
Okay.
crashed.
Oh yeah, in Sacramento, California, um, in an area that we're very familiar with, where Highway 50 is a 4-lane road. A medical helicopter crashed, and I got to see that footage too, and that because somebody had their dash cam going, and it was just showed this helicopter, um, kind of almost it almost looked like a leaf floating out of the sky, and then it hit the highway and it bounced a couple times, and it ended up wrong way, so that people couldn't get out of the helicopter, and the traffic stopped. Of course, obviously, the traffic's going to stop. A helicopter plops down on the highway, but people got out of their vehicles and ran to the helicopter, and they tipped it so that people could get out of the helicopter, and there were no fatalities.
It's a good day, isn't it?
And yeah,
Good day
did I
for
mention there was a
truck.
medical transport
I wonder if they
helicopter?
were transporting anybody at that time.
Yeah, I will need to get more information on that and the cause of the crash and stuff. But I was just heartened by, you know, a show of true humanity, that these people rushed to the scene. They didn't know if it was going to catch on fire or anything like that. They ran in there, and they worked to get the other people to safety.
Shout out to Sacramento.
Yeah, shout out Sacktown. Then our next story is regarding Survivor. I did a story about him a while back. Survivor, the 32-year-old man who weighed 68 pounds and was rescued out of a house fire in Waterbury, Connecticut. And the allegations that have arisen from that. There's a woman named Kimberly Sullivan who is going to go on trial. And right now, of course, they've been filing briefs back and forth and stuff like that, and trying to, whatever the heck lawyers and stuff try to do before it actually goes to trial. It does appear that it will be going to trial. And anyway, the allegations are that I call him Survivor. The documents call him male victim.
Yeah, they're not giving
and
up his name.
I'm not going to call him a victim. He's a survivor of all of this. Whatever life threw at him, you don't end up being a 32-year-old man weighing 68 pounds if you haven't gone through some shit.
When he was a small child?
Yeah, and he's recounting to law enforcement that when he was 3 years old, he remembered that he was always hungry, and that he would try to sneak to the kitchen to try to get a drink or anything, and he got caught sneaking food and sneaking water because he left wrappers out in his room, and after that he would get locked in every night. But 3 years old, he was caught, he got locked in, and he would be locked in from then on, and his food intake and his fluid intake would be closely monitored. And that he recalled drinking out of the toilet in order to get enough fluid when he was thirsty. And he said that he remembers that he was always hungry, and
and he got to be 4 and 5 years old and went to school.
And he was always hungry at school, and he was always asking other kids if he could have some of their food, if he could have some of their lunch, and he would even get caught eating out of the garbage cans at school.
So hungry.
And he said he was always hungry. And then finally, when he was in 4th grade, his dad and his stepmom decided to pull him out of school because they didn't want to deal with any more visits from DPS, Department of Protective Services, or DHF, Human Services. Not sure which. The terminology went back and forth on what the people were called, but they had been called 6 times to the house in the last couple years that Survivor was seen at school or seeing a doctor or anything like that. And as Survivor's biological mother was tearfully saying on the Vinnie Politan show, that she wished she had known she was going through some stuff herself, and so agreed with his older than her gainfully employed father, who also was married to this other woman, um, that she would let him have custody, and she wanted visitation, and then eventually he took away all visitation from her, um, although possibly not by legal terms, just not allowing her to see the child and cutting off all contact with her, and then eventually all contact with any outside family members, and that this Mr. Sullivan, the father of Survivor, apparently he wasn't a very nice guy, but he's not alive to defend himself. Kimberly Sullivan, the stepmom, her defense in this whole thing is, oh, well, it was his child and it was his call how to raise this child, and I was just following his orders. And I don't think that really flies, especially after the guy died, and she's still following through with his orders. Don't know about that. Anyway, Survivor says,
Hey,
that
out there in Indian country.
oh, right.
Good to see you. Welcome, welcome.
Anyway, where'd I go? Okay, he was 12 years old when they started locking him in his room full time, locks on the outside of his doors. And Survivor said that he was only let out for a little while around 8 a.m. and sometimes in the evening, that he could come and watch the news with his dad, stuff like that. And how once in a while his dad would let him come outside and do yard work or something if his stepmom and stepsisters were not home, and the rest of the time he had to be locked in his room. And this is all his side. We'll get to her side in a moment, because there's a her side.
Anyways, we talk about true crime and current events, and true crime going on in current events. Touch a little tiny bit of politics if it's related to true crime. Other than that,
Yep.
it is what it is. Jump in, comment away.
Yep. And also we're talking more and more about living in a camper and traveling and stuff like that too.
May do some MMIW stuff too, Roy.
Yeah, we'll be covering missing, murdered Indigenous relatives, and also doing some boots on the ground locations, but not necessarily for active investigations, but more like like a case history. This is where thus and such happened, and let people see it for themselves. Anyway, back to Survivor's story, and and I did tell this in a story format that you can find on the channel. Anyhow, Survivor says that then, from that age on, he had never left the property since he was 14 or 15 years old, and that almost all of the rest of his life was spent in that room. And lots of kids and young adults, well, even adults in their 30s that grew up in that area, said that there even got to be an urban legend of a ghost child that lived at this property, because they would often see a pale boy peek out an upstairs window at them, and then he would vanish. And Survivor said that he used to look out the window, but he was always threatened that if he got caught, that would be his last glimpse of daylight ever. And he claims that he was always told to be quiet if there was ever any company, and not to call out to anyone, because more food would be withheld, more liquid would be withheld. He would get less privilege. That it would go more days before he would be let out of the room. Anyway, it got so bad that by the time he was 32 years old, and his dad had passed away a while back, and he said that his condition got a lot worse after his dad passed on. He said his stepmom wouldn't let him out of the room. wouldn't allow him more than one sandwich a day, that she would give him one. Sometimes she'd forget to give him one, and that he had to eliminate his waste inside containers in his room, that he would urinate into bottles, and then he had to make a contraption made out of straws and rolled up newspapers and stuff to funnel his urine out into the yard through a hole in the wall.
Oh, that would be nasty. Those newspapers would absorb that
Yeah.
all the time. Oh.
And he said that
Let me get up here so I can see the
that
comments.
newspapers ended up being his only bedding in there, because at first it was more space that he had, including a window, and then he ended up in a closet type area. And firefighters, we'll get to that in a second too, who arrived on scene, and then police photos all do show locks on the outside of the doors, sliding bolt like locks and chain locks and everything on the outsides of the door. And
poor little guy was locked in there since an early age.
yeah, and so here he was, 32 years old, and weighing 68 pounds, totally emaciated. He was like a living skeleton. He said he was very weak, he could barely move, and he just wanted to be free. And so he got a lighter out of an old jacket of his father's that was in the closet that he was staying in, and he had some alcohol from hand sanitizer and some newspapers, obviously, and he set these on fire in his room, thinking that he was going to be overcome by smoke, thinking that he was going to lose his life in the fire, but at least he was going to be free of these conditions, but also knowing that there was a slight chance that firefighters might rescue him. And so after the fire broke out, and firefighters were sent to the home, the stepmom, this Kimberly Sullivan person, super chat? Huh?
Super chat us and we'll think about it. Says we should kiss.
Oh.
That's weird.
That's funny.
The firefighters?
Anyway, the firefighters arrived on scene, and there was Kimberly Sullivan out on the sidewalk, being very upset, holding one of her little dogs in her arms, and saying, "Oh my gosh, my little dog, he's so scared, he's shivering," and just being very concerned about that. And they're asking her if there's anybody else in the house that might need to be rescued, and she worried about her cats, and was mentioning that cats were in there. And they went inside, and they found Survivor on the floor in the kitchen area. And at first they thought they had found a child. There was somebody small and curled up on the floor in there, and that person was shaking themselves. They were real shaky. And then the firefighter that went to pick him up heard him whisper, and he said, I just wanted to escape. And so they carry him out of the house, and thinking that they're carrying a child at that point. And they carry him past her, and and she's still worried about the animals, and then she's like tries to go over towards where he is, and they're keeping her away from him. And one firefighter hands him off to another one in an ambulance, and they take off with him.
So tiny.
And yeah, he's so tiny that the footage also looks like he's carrying a child out of there. And
thank you, Karen.
And so then Survivor goes and explains to everyone what he's been through. Explains that he's been kept this way as far back as he can remember. He says he's been terribly hungry his entire life. He can't remember ever not being hungry, and he's disheveled. He says that he hasn't bathed in a year or two. His teeth are rotting out of his head, and like I said, severely emaciated, only 68 pounds. And he's saying that his stepmother has kept him like that, and that he was afraid that he would lose any food or any privilege or anything if he ever said or did anything. Meanwhile, now we get to the defense.
It was bad, huh? We got a lot of terrible stories on this channel.
Then her story, as told through her defense team, is that this was all the doing of her deceased husband.
Oh,
Thank you, Journey.
Thank you, Journey.
And
oh, coffee.
you love coffee. Yeah.
A good cup of coffee.
Oh,
More coffee that tastes like dirt, possibly.
yeah.
Love those grind-on-demand
ground.
machines they have around here. Oh.
Anyway, so her statement is that all of this was due to her deceased husband, that it was his doing, that he had determined how Survivor was to be raised. Although Survivor tends to indicate that his father was afraid of Kimberly and would do whatever Kimberly said and would only let him out of his room if Kimberly and Kimberly's daughters were not in the home. But neither here nor there. Kimberly's story that she's sticking to is that Survivor was not locked in when she would go to work, and that he could have gotten out, but that he didn't try. And she said that there was food in the house and he could have gotten it,
Dude.
but he didn't try. But, you know,
The police and everyone have posted all those locks, the photographs of those.
yeah. And then Kimberly's saying, oh, but I didn't lock them. They were there and everything, but I didn't actually lock them anymore.
We'll just see what the fire department
But-
has to say about it.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to find out what condition the locks were in and whether he was locked in or not. And then also, and then another thing with this is that a lot of psychologists have stepped forward and explained that since his abuse began when he was so young, like 3 years old, that he was getting locked in and denied food and denied liquids and just completely dependent. He had learned dependency, learned helplessness, and that he very likely never realized that he could have gotten out. He might not have even ever tried the doors
That's
anymore.
almost like when you have a very large dog, but you keep him outside in the chained up or running loose in the fenced yard, and he can never escape. And then he gets this tall, you know, he could jump over that fence, but since when he was a puppy, he could never escape, so he never jumps over that fence.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a learned behavior.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon, what's cooking?
Hey, Brandon.
And
Yes, we have a stove to make coffee, but I so much enjoy going out to buy coffee.
yeah, I keep telling him we're gonna have to start just.
We just got a new container of
making our
coffee
own.
tonight, actually.
Yeah, we keep forgetting to. Kept forgetting to buy coffee until today because and so then we would go get some coffee from the gas station because we go, oh man, you know what we didn't get at the grocery store?
Yeah, but we're not Starbucks people at all.
Yeah, no, we're not Starbucks people. We're you know.
Although I don't mind getting a Starbucks coffee once or twice a year. But
We're gas station coffee from gas stations that have the perk where you can use a gas station card and you can get discounts on your coffee. And we're talking about $1 a cup, even when they're not free. But that also has like a punch card thing going on to where, you know, every so many coffees you get a free one and stuff like that. And we're real big on getting our free coffees.
so, anyways,
Oh my
Roy,
god!
if you're
Coffee day. You guys remember that? We were all super like amped up in our video and everything on coffee day.
Love coffee. Yeah, it was
Because
free coffee day. In
it was
the
free
United
coffee
States.
day, and so we went and hit up all the places giving up a free cup of coffee, and we were pretty spun on the coffee.
Maybe we should have went to Starbucks that day. Let's see if they were going to honor that.
Well, we didn't because we're not really, you know.
It's not us. Plus, they
The only
might-
time we're snob coffee is when we make it at home and like do, you know, pour over or French press or whatever, you know. We can make ourselves some pretty darn good coffee.
Oh yeah.
Our coffee grinder broke, though. We used to grind our own. On top of that, just go find the right beans and then grind them at home. And that was pretty loud, though. Scared the heck out of the cats. They were like, ah! Watch cats fly every which way. They're like levitate off the ground, and their little leg is in every direction.
You need a quality coffee grinder, though.
Mm.
Not one of those whirly bird things.
Long time ago, we had an antique one. We're back live. I don't know what happened.
Sometimes
looks like we disappeared for a moment. But anyway,
what
that particular time we were camping outside a casino, and it was just me and him. We thought everything was locked up and secure. So we broke the window. We got in. And that was back when we had that. That was a long time ago. We had a GameCube. They didn't take our GameCube.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Anyway,
it's time to go to the casino again, though, huh?
Yeah,
definitely. I've been to the casino for a while.
Anyway, where'd I go with? Oh, I didn't finish Survivor,
did I? Survivor yet?
Okay, he set his room on fire. He was explaining everything, and then I was talking about what his stepmother tried to say, and she tried to say that he wasn't actually a prisoner, that he could have left at any time, etc. But
my face is always in there because I'm reading the comments. I'm sorry.
But he's afraid of her, and the bio mom has been tore up and did interviews on Vinnie Politan.
Oh yeah,
and
she was
said,
heartbroken.
And she said DCF did nothing in 2004, which was the last year that he was ever in public school or ever saw a doctor or anything. And she said that DCF did 6 visits from 1996 and 2005. Some of them surprise visits, some of them planned visits over at the Sullivan home. And the DCF said that there was not enough evidence to remove him from the Sullivan's home, and and she's totally distraught as she says, a clean home does not mean a healthy house, and that the house was clean, and there was food in the kitchen, and the kids, when they were interviewed, they all said everything was okay, but as an adult, when asked about that, Survivor says that he was told before the first time he ever saw DCF, he was told that if he told the truth about what was going on, that he would never see the light of day again. And he was terrified. He was a kid, and so he never told the truth about what was going on. And he was worried. And I think our internet's going out, so we're gonna have to end this live early, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have to shut down. Thank you, Brandon. A lot of people around here wear these tie-dyes. I just wanted to fit in with the rest of them.
I love his tie-dye shirts. I bought them for him.
Yeah.
He looks really good in them. And I steal them sometimes.
Back on.
Oh, we can stick around. We got that silly thing going again.
Huh, that's crazy.
Where were we, everybody?
Anyway, okay, so Kimberly's defense is that
The internet.
Survivor's father was a bad guy, and that she was afraid of Survivor. She said that Survivor had a temper, so she was afraid of him, and that would be why he was locked in. And then goes back to, oh, but no, he was never locked in, but I locked him in because I was afraid of him. And
she was afraid of the little guy. He's only 60-something pounds.
Yeah, weighed 68 pounds. I don't think he was a threat to her at all.
And
there are things that she could have done. She could have reported him herself. I mean, especially after her husband passed. And and her, I do not like her defense attorney. He seems like a real,
No, we'll stay on, Brandon.
yeah, he seems like a real piece of poop, because basically he straight up says, I think there are credibility issues with him. I'm not going to attack him, but there are credibility issues with him. And when it comes down to it before the jury, it's going to be who do they believe? It's going to be, he's all, it goes down to credibility. And I hope that whatever happens, that there is some justice for Survivor. It seems like he is currently being bullied still by his stepmother and her attorney, since the most recent thing in court was that is where he is staying now is being
Secret, huh?
secret.
Mm-hmm.
There is a place called Safe Haven. They're in Connecticut, and they're in charge of, he's working with them or through them. They shelter and care for victims, survivors of domestic situations. And anyway, Survivor has legally changed his name. Up until now, he has just been going by the first initial of his last name, of his first name, with the name he was given at birth, which was S, and he was known as S whenever he wasn't being called male victim. And anyway,
I like Survivor better.
And that's why I've been calling him Survivor, is because he is a survivor of all this. Anyway, he has legally changed his name. He's 32 years old, and he has legally changed his name. But now the defense went to court on October 3rd, wanting three things. One was they wanted the stepmother to be able to go to the home that she has shared with Survivor. And I don't know whether Survivor lived there or is affiliated with it at all. This is the home that originally was owned by his father, and then his father married this woman, and all that. And so, I would assume that he would have at least had a partial inheritance in that. Anyway, first thing the defense went after on October 3rd was they wanted her to go to the home and to be able to get her stuff or whatever of her stuff she wanted, and that was granted. And then the second thing that they wanted was for her to no longer have to wear her GPS monitor, which is one of the things that Survivor had asked was, since she was going to be let out on bond, he asked, the only stipulation was that she wear a GPS monitor so he wouldn't have to be afraid of her and where she would be.
I think that's fair, the port on
and the judge decided to come back, give him the briefs and everything, and he would come back on October 31st to decide whether or not the GPS can come off of Kimberly Sullivan.
She's a horrible person, Kimberly Sullivan is.
And then the third thing, which really, to me, feels like total bullying on the part of the defense. The defense says that they want Survivor's new name, his new legal name. They want that to be made public. They want Kimberly to have his name, and they want to have his name, and they want the public to know his new name.
He's a victim. Why would they give him?
And they're saying because she has the presumption of innocence and she has the right to face her accuser, etc., that, she's going to face him in court anyway. Why does she need to know his new name?
Yeah, really, why?
Anyway,
You would just have to change it again.
Anyway, so they're pushing for his new identity to be made public, while Safe Haven has gone to bat for him and are petitioning for his identity to remain private for his safety. And they said that it's important for all victims and survivors of domestic abuse to have that safety net to where they could change their names and start their lives anew without having to be afraid. And
we're not going to give
and-
up the name on this channel.
and so and haven't been given it either.
Well, we're not going to give it up. If we
No,
were.
I wouldn't give it up either.
No.
Anyway, and Safe Haven states that they have a GoFundMe for Survivor, and they have raised $400,000 so far for his living expenses, his housing expenses,
Wow.
and for his medical treatment.
That is a successful GoFundMe.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And so we'll keep you posted on what goes on in this case. And I am praying for Survivor's continued survival and his return to full strength, and that he gets his health back, and that he gets a new lease on life.
I expect good things for Survivor. I expect him to come out of there and start eating properly and just get all swole, all pumped up and be this big old man.
Mhm.
That'd be awesome. Have a great turnaround like that.
Yeah. And and that's and he's going to need a lot, because he's going to need his yeah, it looks like a lot of money at first, but then you got to figure out that this guy has had no medical care from the age of 12
He hasn't
on.
been to the
His
dentist.
teeth rotted out in
Mhm.
his mouth. He was worn down to 68 pounds. He's going to need physical therapy to gain back his muscles and stuff. He's going to need
Right.
round the clock care to slowly gain the weight and be able to eat properly
I
and
bet he can't
and not eat up his body.
Anything at all.
And then also he's gonna for him to even ever be able to get a job or anything like that, he's gonna need to continue his education. He was pulled out of school in the 4th grade. That's the highest education
Right.
he ever received.
Then they would send home packets with him, and then the packets would get sent back, and he just wasn't learning anything at all.
They stopped sending the packets though halfway through 4th grade, and that was it. That was all the schooling he got was 4th grade, partway through 4th
He's
grade,
not progressing any longer.
and so there's that. And then he had no socialization from 4th grade on. He has had no contact with the outside world. He is going to have to be taught how to use electronics and stuff. He's going to have to be brought up to speed on everything. He's going to need to be educated. He's going to need to learn skills. He's going to, there is so much this young man is going to need just to move forward. He's only 32 years old, but he's lost over 20 years of his life to being locked in this one room in this
He
house.
doesn't know about
Internet or technology or anything.
Yeah,
Cell phones and
a lot's happened in 20 years,
yeah.
and so he's also going to need to be working with therapists to help him get past, or maybe not past, but just to work with his trauma, and to learn how to socialize with people, to learn to have the ability to interact with other humans, to learn to trust somebody, because he's not been able to trust anyone up until he was rescued. And he had, as far as he knew, he had no one caring for him. It turned out that he had a half sister and his bio mom who desperately wanted to get in touch with him, but he didn't know that. He didn't know that he had a mother out there that wanted him and had wanted him, and just got cheated out of ever being able to see him after he was 3 years old. And
Brandon said that's a sad story.
yeah, it is. And it's just so rough, especially, Brandon's a parent too. He knows what it's like to just, look at something in the case of, what if that happened to one of my kids? How would I feel if somebody had taken my kid and locked my kid up for 20 years, and then my kid didn't know that I had cared or anything like that, and just, how kids can fall through the cracks like that, how nobody ever checked up on him, that they just...
CPS or whoever was in charge, DPS,
Yeah.
They knew this guy existed, but they never went back and checked on him.
Yeah, they never went back. They never checked on him. They just, end of
The
story.
schools knew that he existed. The neighborhood kids knew that he existed. What happened to the little ghost child in the window? Whatever happened
Yeah.
to that guy?
Yeah, and
So-
and everybody was just told, oh, you were just seeing things. That wasn't, that wasn't a real kid you saw. That's just a ghost story.
Wow.
That was terrible. And
Brandon, we talk about true crime.
Yeah.
Some of this stuff's pretty dark.
then I see I do have some time left, so now I'll talk about the Morphew case. And part of what I've learned in the Morphew case is that there is nothing new so far in the Morphew case. Barry will be back in court on November 3rd for another status conference where they decide, if they can set a trial date yet or whether there's still more stuff that needs to be done. And of course, he is out on bail. I have not heard anything about where he is or what he's doing. Supposedly, whatever he's doing is in Alamosa County. Yeah,
No one's
everything's
talking about Barry right now.
And it's like, sometimes I get like almost conspiracy theories going on, going, why is it that he gets so much sheltering and stuff? Why is it that there's no loose lips saying, oh, Barry was, doing this or that, or what the heck? And anyway, I don't know where he is right now, but I do know that when there is a trial happening, we will be relocating our butts over to Alamosa County, Colorado for the duration of the trial, so we can meet with other people that are there for the trial, maybe get a feel for everything, a feel for the area, and kind of gauge what's going on, and maybe get a glimpse of Barry coming and going from court or something.
At least see
Because
what
I'm
he's
pretty sure they're not.
driving.
Because I'm pretty sure they're not going to let me in the courtroom.
No,
But-
no. They won't even let. Last time they wouldn't even let anybody on the courthouse property. Remember?
Oh my God! Last time I had to be at a remote location. I had to check in, give my ID and everything, and
Well, we're all right here.
but couldn't even be at the same courthouse location or anything. It's like, oh my goodness.
Let's tell them a classic story from your channel. Which one?
Classic story.
Sarah Boone. You know Sarah Boone. You know that one pretty good.
Sarah Boone.
How about the little old lady who lives on D Street, or is it F Street in
We
Sacramento?
already did Dorothy recently. We could do Sarah Boone. We could. And let's see. We talked about Courtney Clenny not too long
We did
ago.
Courtney
We talked
Clenny, yeah.
about,
We did the lady that ended up in the soup pot.
But since we're talking about, because since it is Halloween, and she pretty much looks like a ghoul anyway, even when she's
Oh, which one?
not dressed up. Taylor Shabusiness.
Oh, Taylor from
Oh
Wisconsin.
my
guys.
God, Taylor Shabusiness. This girl is whacked out of her gourd for one thing, and I don't even understand, because I did go and study what drugs she was on when she committed her crimes. And oh yeah, she's been convicted of committing her crimes, so yeah, I can't say allegedly committed her crimes or anything like that. And frankly, I don't see how they could have been the cause on their own of this. And all I can say is, girl's pure evil.
Oh, dude, talking about the riots in Portland. Do you remember that hashtag Jimmy Kimmel was talking about?
Yeah.
You need to go check that out.
Show me your hellhole. Hashtag show me your hellhole. I think. Let me make sure that that's the correct hashtag. Because Jimmy Kimmel
Jimmy Kimmel asked
What-
for
was
other
telling,
footage.
yeah, he was telling
Chicago.
people that live in Chicago, LA, Portland, any of the places that have been deemed, yeah, show me your hellhole is the hashtag. And you say anybody that's in any of those places that have been deemed places that are hellholes and need the National Guard to step in and everything, the war zone, pandemonium breaking out. And so he's like, people that are boots on the ground there, please do some YouTube videos, upload them, hashtag them, show me your hellhole, and let's see. And then we have been cracking up seeing a lot of this stuff where people are like
People are
showing
just
their hellholes.
living normal.
And just having fun too. Like one was I think it was in Chicago where Show Me Your Hellhole, and it was like an outdoor concert. It had John Stamos making a surprise appearance. They were going, here's my hellhole. It was John Stamos making a surprise appearance at a Hanson concert.
Handsome.
And it's like some people's hell is, yeah, but definitely didn't look like anything that needed a military intervention. And then there was these couple girls in Portland that were showing their hellhole.
Yeah,
And,
they made
this is
a
my
really good video.
yeah, they made really good going. We're here
Shout out
in
to
the
you guys.
in the war zone, and we're gonna try to get some provisions in the war zone, and it shows them getting in line at a what I call roach coach, but food truck, whatever, to get some food, and then showing some outdoor vendors and stuff like that, and then going, you hear that, and and it's a drum circle and
Oh yeah, there
stuff.
was a drum circle just playing away.
Yeah, and definitely did not look like anything was going on, and then there's some guy in Portland also doing a video off his balcony, looking at downtown Portland, and he's like, so look, everything's on fire. Oh, what? It's not?
We are
Oh, there's no
familiar
fire.
with Portland and what's going on there with the homeless camps and all that.
Yeah.
But it's never been to this point. It's never been National Guard stuff. It's just, they put a tent where they're not supposed to kind of deal. So.
And yeah, currently we're in Colorado, but we are planning to head over to Oregon and probably gonna
Stop by Portland.
stop by Portland just to see for ourselves. But we've been in touch with other people that we know that are boots on the ground there that are saying no, there's nothing worthy of a military takeover or anything like that. And same with people we know that are boots on the ground in the LA area, telling us that there's nothing insane going on there. And then I think in the live last night there were some people that were in Chicago that were telling us too that nothing crazy going on here. And
yeah, we had some nice people stop by Chicago last night.
And so we're like,
telling their city is doing good. What
Yeah.
about you, Memphis? You got anybody?
yeah, anybody in Memphis? We're hearing that there's crazy. The news is reporting that there's crazy stuff going down in Memphis, but
I know the car show got shut down. You can't have a car show over there anymore.
Slammed Enough, I think, was the event.
yeah, and it's like, what is going on?
That's just a normal night around Denver. It's just cars. Dude, my comments aren't scrolling again.
Yeah, I think that the problems that you're talking about in Portland are problems in many metropolitan areas. You can go to any major city and you will find the homeless and the drug addicted, and I will get on a soapbox and go on about that and about how I think that a lot of this is due to government's defunding of mental health services and such, and I think it was a mistake. I mean, some asylums and stuff like that, of course, they were out of control. They needed more oversight. They needed more they needed more policing of them and that sort of thing. But a lot of the people that were released onto the streets when the asylums were closed, they were not equipped to take care of themselves, and they still are not equipped to take care of themselves. And so we end up with just these like scary areas. I mean, some of the homeless are homeless due to, misfortune and whatnot, and some of the, there's so many different like stratifications of homeless in this country now too, because there are people that are homeless but have jobs and stuff. There are people that are like homeless and on the skids and drug addicted and stuff like that, that would be best served by a in.
How about the homeless guy that's a limo driver and he lives in his car and then he goes to work and he drives around very rich people.
Yeah.
He has to go to his car and shave in his rearview mirror and wipe up and get his suit on and drive the limo
and showering at the gyms, having a gym membership and stuff. Maintaining a gym membership is a lot less expensive than renting an apartment, for example, and so we have all of this craziness, and then we have people that are literally veterans, United States veterans, who ended up with PTSD, shell shock, whatever you want to call it, or traumatic brain injuries, or all of the above, or other kinds of injuries, and then might fall into addictions as well. But there's all these people who are not being served by they're everybody knows the VA system is Veterans Affairs is not funded very well, and now there's a government shutdown, and it's like how are I have veterans in my life that have had to go months out on a waiting list when they have life-threatening illnesses, and they've had to be on a waiting list for months before they can even be seen, and that's just ridiculous. And then people that elderly people that have to make illegal trips across either border to get prescriptions that they can't afford in the United States because they're whatever they can afford for medical coverage doesn't cover the medications that they need, and for whatever reason the generic isn't working for them, and they need the actual, and they can't get it in the United States, and just so many
there's all my
issues going on. And yeah, it's so easy to end up in a gap in healthcare. It is a rough place to be. And
I'm gonna peek at the comments since they weren't scrolling properly again. Randy, welcome to the channel. Good.
And then
Memphis has a lot of crime. We just found out something about Memphis yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Memphis was a Democratic city, Democratic-run city.
We figured that's in the South.
Yeah, we were like, oh, really? Wow, go figure.
That's where the car show got shut down.
And anyway,
I think it was.
But the failure with the mental health care in this country is horrific, and then it's even worse if you happen to be a non-white person, because then also we have police that aren't properly trained regarding mental illness or anything like that. And that reminds me of a case.
Are you going to tell a story?
Yeah, it just reminded me of Zachary.
Native American?
Yeah, Zachary Bear Hills. Zachary Bear Hills was a young, and yes, this is a young adult Native American male who was traveling by bus. He had mental health issues, and he was, some people make the joke of somebody's a window licker. Well, he was literally a window licker, as in he would lick the windows, and he was annoying people on the bus because he was singing some round dance songs and stuff, trying to calm himself down on the bus as his medication got separated from him when he got on the bus. His medication didn't make it on the bus, and so he's like spiraling.
Oh, Gatlinburg, that's
And
right.
He was spiraling, and he was trying to calm himself, and he got put off the bus, and then he's downtown, unfamiliar city. He's panicking, and he's literally licking some windows and stuff, and so they call police on him, and the police had him briefly the first time, had him in the squad car, and he's explaining to them that he's lost and he's trying to go home, and tells them who his family is and everything. And at the same time, his mom back home
Oh, this is sad.
is frantically trying to find him, and is calling all the cities along the bus line. Sorry, trying to figure out what happened, where he was. And so she does get a hold of the police department. I think it was in Topeka, Kansas, and she's in Oklahoma. And she gets a hold of them, and then they tell her that they have let Zachary go, that they had him briefly, but they put him back out on the street. And he started spiraling more, and more law enforcement went and responded to him, and these ones were not so nice. And they grabbed him by his braids, and they dragged him by his braids, dragged him around. They tased him a few times, and eventually they took his life, all because he was having a mental health breakdown. And that's one of the reasons why I started. I went around and I did a lot of speeches, a lot of talks at a lot of places about the need for more psychoeducation, that police forces need to be informed of signs and symptoms of mental illness and how to react to this and how to de-escalate situations. We do not have enough police training and de-escalation. And actually, we met a really nice officer a while back from London, England, who was here trying to train some people in Colorado on de-escalation techniques, because we don't have it at all here. And I'm sure that there are problems over there as well with this, but at least you do have some people that know something about de-escalation and help try to train others in de-escalation techniques. And it's just rough that there is, and some people laugh when they see stickers on cars, and they think it's funny when it says, warning, passenger or driver or whatever is autistic, and blah blah blah. And it's like, no, that's not a joke. If the person is autistic and they are in a stressful situation, they very well might freak out or run or whatever, because that's what some of the warnings are. Warning, passenger is autistic and may start smacking his head against the window or whatever, on a bumper sticker.
I haven't seen any of those lately.
And I haven't seen any
No.
lately, and I think that they should still be some sort of warnings or something, because I think that people don't understand, and they need to understand that there needs to be more understanding. There needs to be more compassion for people that are quote unquote different. I mean, because
That's just like that guy up out of Denver. Remember the violin playing guy?
yeah, Elijah, he
Elijah McCain.
Yeah, and one of his dying words was, "I was just trying to go home," because he was listening to his music and everything, and the cops um, didn't think for 1 second that maybe he didn't hear them, and so they tackled him and tased him and all this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they got the ambulance crew to give him a fatal dose of ketamine.
And he only weighed like about 100 pounds as well.
Yeah,
And he was wearing a hoodie, and it was too warm for a hoodie.
as far as they were concerned.
Yeah, you know how some of these guys
But-
wear hoodies in the middle of summer.
But yeah, I've experienced with young adults that, or high school students that have emotional issues or something, and they need the comfort of their hoodie, and they will be wearing their hoodie. It'll be 90 degrees out, and these kids are still wearing a hoodie. They're not on drugs or anything. They just need their hoodie.
Speaking of hoodies, they're wearing hoodies in the D4VD videos. All those guys, they're wearing hoodies.
Yeah, so I guess it could also be a fashion statement as well
Mhm.
as just a comfort statement.
The mental institutions were a mess.
Yeah, they just sort of reformed them and stuff, and still provided care for people though.
So we have a goal of 10,000 subscribers by January 1. So if you guys want to help out with that, that would be awesome, and hit that subscribe. You can always change your minds later. You don't have to stick around. That'd be good if you could help us out with that goal.
Yeah.
Have any more stories of terriblenesses? Do you guys have any requests for stories?
I think I ran out of.
True crime stories? I'll bet you. We know it. Maybe. There's so
Sock
much.
monkeys. I can tell you a story about the history of sock monkeys. First off, sock monkeys, I believe it was the Great Depression, and in order to make Christmas still happen for the youngsters, because it was important back then, family values and all that, that they went and took the wool socks, sacrificed some of the adults' wool socks to make these sock monkeys that are a piece of happiness and cuddleness for the kiddos. And I've always liked sock monkeys. And then a funny thing is, my first attempt at wearing makeup in junior high or so, I was told I looked like a sock monkey.
Maybe too much red lips?
Yeah.
Looks like you're still using the red a lot.
Well, sock monkeys are cool, so I'll go ahead and be a sock monkey. They're comfort.
Here you go.
And
There's a comment you can respond.
let's see. I was trying to get family members mental health help, and it was absolutely terrible to go through the process, especially if the person is not willing. Oh, 100%. That is one of the biggest problems, is when a family member seriously
if they're over the
needs
age
it,
of
and
18.
and if they're over the age of 18, it is a total and complete nightmare. And so anyone that has people in their family under the age of 18, don't think twice about working towards getting something in place for when they do turn 18, because while IEPs and things like that are all about independent living after they turn 18, they are cut loose. Once they graduate from high school, they are cut loose, and they're out there without a net unless you're stepping in for them. And a lot of times you get blocked every which way if they turn 18 and you don't have something in place saying that you still have some say-so, some authority over them to help them. Because a lot of these young people, they are not mature until they're 25 or 30 years old. They're slow to.
You can speak of.
And can I talk about criminals? Let's see.
Ooh. Well, we were talking about D4VD. and how he isn't 25 yet.
Oh, okay, yeah. And if you want to talk about that, yeah, you can look at his case a bit by saying that he was 20 years old, involved with a 14-year-old child, but he may be um, mentally immature himself. And while that does not condone or excuse his behavior toward a 14-year-old, there should have been some people handling him and keeping him on the right side of the law there. But there really could be a disconnect in his brain where he really believed that a 14-year-old was his peer. And this is very common in people who are slow to develop, or late bloomers, whatever you want to call it. And it is a medically proven fact that the brain doesn't reach adult maturity until around the age of 25, which really is another reason why I go cuckoo about these different laws in the land. Like at 18, you can die for your country, but
You can't.
but you're not mentally an adult in the sense of, have you reached your full mental potential? Are you fully adult? And in a lot of places you can't buy cigarettes unless you're 21. Same as alcohol when you're 21, and arguably that could be also on the side of being young. But it's just crazy how some of these different laws go, and also how they go and change the age of majority or maturity or whatever, the age of consent. Saying in some places, oh, consent could be at 16 or 17. It's like, no, it damn well can't.
These are children. What
These are
states do
children.
that?
Some do.
Some do. I know they do.
And it is ridiculous. And but even if, but also there's the couple year rule where you shouldn't date anybody more than a couple years younger than you, by law, with like an 18-year-old and younger than 18-year-old, and by any means 6 years is way too much. That is the age difference between David and Celeste. And some people are victim blaming Celeste by saying, oh, but she lied, she said she was 19, she had everyone convinced that she was 19.
Have you seen her on the live stream? She's a child.
She's a child. I saw a live stream of her and David doing a live stream, and she's a giggly, dorky teenager. There was no way I would ever assume that she was an adult. Let's put it that way. I mean, I guess maybe by a stretch she could have been 16, but
maybe if she didn't speak.
Maybe she didn't speak. Yeah. And it just.
Yeah, I'm sure he had handlers. I mean, this guy's making money for the record company. They should have had a handler.
Yeah, he should have had handlers. They should have been making sure. They should have. And when it became known, because it became known a long time ago that this girl was too young. And
he had his mom. David did.
And yeah, but apparently he was not with his parents. He was with representatives from his label. He was with handlers, etc. He was with people that I guess were working with him, and I guess because he's over 18, his parents didn't really have that much they could say about him. But people needed to, even if he didn't know how young she was when he met her online and everything, before he found out that she was a minor.
Junior high kid.
But once he found out she was a minor, no matter how much he felt like he was in love with her, he needed to step back. He needed to take the high road and say, okay, well, see you in 5 years. Not just, oh, well, come hang out at my crib anyway.
You think he's framed?
And I think that he could very well be framed for what happened to her in the end, but I don't think he's framed at all for having um, inappropriate friendship, inappropriate relationship with somebody under the age of 19,
Everybody saw that.
under the age of 18,
David, everybody saw
under
you.
the age of 17, under the age of 16, under the age of 15. She was 14 when she died. She was 13 when she started spending the night at his house with him.
Dude. David, you got me in some big trouble for that.
So yeah, at the very least, he's going to be in trouble for that. It's entirely possible that someone in his entourage is who actually was with Celeste when she lost her life. It's possible that it was an accident, but you know what wasn't an accident? Covering up her death. Stashing her body inside the trunk of a Tesla and leaving it there for weeks to decompose and become, human soup.
And do you think
And-
Tesla was ever parked in the garage with Celeste? And then it got put out onto the street?
That could be possible also, but it seems that neighbors state that the Tesla used to be parked out in front of the house, and then it ended up being parked, around the corner where it was found.
And ticketed.
Yeah. In North Carolina, they have a 3-year age gap, Romeo and Juliet law, where where
I've heard about that.
you can go, okay, 3 year, but you go to 4 or 5 or 6 years, and that's just icky, and that's illegal. And yeah, 3 years, yeah, okay, a 15-year-old, that'd be like a sophomore and a senior. Okay, probably shouldn't engage in
Freshman
relations,
and a
but
junior.
or a freshman and a junior, or whatever. And of course, everyone when they were a freshman wanted to date a senior, but that doesn't make it okay or anything. But of course, that's and who leaves their Tesla unattended. And that's another thing, is we don't even know who all had access to this Tesla. I didn't realize what all, I thought that you had to at least have a key fob or something. Didn't realize, and I know that there was key cards too. I didn't realize that you didn't need any of that stuff, that all you needed was the app with the code for that particular Tesla. That he could have given that out to any number of people, and they could have given out to people.
Unlocked,
He could have left his phone unlocked, and somebody else could have figured it out from his phone, or like I said, he could have given it to somebody, and then they might have shared it with somebody else. And once you've got like 50 people hanging out, and then everybody's got the code, then everybody has access to that Tesla. All they need is the code, and they can get in that Tesla, and they can. Whatever, a lot of people had access to it.
Tesla has cameras and weight sensors in the seats. So that Tesla's going to be telling a story soon, guys.
And-
Good question. What if you don't have your phone? Then what?
And yeah, I guess some people have a card, and I guess the card for David's Tesla, it turns out that thing that I thought was a plant or something, that somebody getting clout, because they found a Tesla card in the gutter near where David's car used to be parked across from his house. And then it turns out that police confirmed that was the actual key card to that car, and that also internet sleuths could find out it was the actual car to that car. And it's like, what? And yeah, using an electronic gadget to get into it. And I guess if you called somebody, it would open up. I don't know how many different ways you would have to get into that sucker. Maybe even maybe even a smartwatch would get into it. I don't know. It's crazy.
If you own a Tesla, let us know how it works out. I
Yeah,
personally
'cause-
wouldn't buy one, do
Because
do the e-bike.
I've been learning so much about it. It's like, what the heck, and like you could, I have seen people, and I don't know if they're supposed to do it, but I have seen people on the interstate in their Teslas, and their Teslas are like totally on autopilot, and these people are like, asleep or totally doing something else completely. The car's driving itself. They're not paying any attention, and stuff like that, and then finding out that they have the capability of doing that, where you can just like program in,
I don't
Tesla,
think-
take me here, and it will.
I think you're gonna need a special locksmith that specializes in Tesla. Do they even have a keyhole?
They don't have keyholes.
No.
No, I don't know what they have.
Well, we don't have any Tesla owners on this channel. Go on, speak up.
Any Tesla owners, let us know.
There you go. A Tesla.
Oh, a Tesla.
Ah.
Please ask your son how the Tesla works.
You remember how Donald Trump was saying, "Yay."
with it's got all the electronics, is one of the things that Donald Trump said about it.
Oh, love Tesla. He was going off about that. Had him on the White House up there in the grass. Get a Tesla. Wonderful.
And
Okay, Journey, ask him. We'll wait.
yeah, let it give us the whole rundown on how these Teslas work.
Mountain Dew. And what the heck? Diet Dew. Yum.
Wow.
Yum.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yes, Michael.
Oh, your son lives in California. Okay, well, when you find out from him, let us know.
Well,
Michael, this only thing with Tesla. Let's see.
oh, what a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Does it have a crawl space like some of the older cars?
Yeah,
do?
because like she was in the front trunk, but we know they have a front trunk and a rear trunk, and
I wonder if there's a little door that goes in there.
yeah, I am curious about that. I hadn't even thought about with the front trunk, but I know that a lot of cars with a rear trunk you can crawl through, so I wouldn't be surprised if you could access it.
And how much is a battery? How much is a battery pack for the Teslas? They gotta be like
David's was the
the nice one with the gold wing doors.
yeah,
Is it a
the
Model S?
X, I think.
X.
Because at first it was being reported that it was a Y, but then it turned out it was an X. Yeah, somebody else said it too, an X. It had the gull wing doors.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
And when I was watching Banfield, she was talking about how she had the Y.
Dark Horse.
And was telling how
Welcome.
his front trunk was bigger than hers and stuff.
You want to tell Dark Horse what we talk about here?
Dark Horse, we talk about true crime, current crimes, stuff that's in the news, stuff that we start chit-chatting about in the chat section, the community. We like having a back and forth with the audience once we've brought a program to you, and then we put up a Q&A, and we also just, hey, what's up, kind of thing. And current events, true crime, and also we'll be incorporating more of outdoor living, camping, and campers.
That's down the line, though.
Stuff like that. That's a little bit down the line, but we'll be doing that soon. Oh, wow.
I'll bet the battery's got to go, what, 30K, do you think? It just seems like...
They said like 12,000 or something.
Oh, 12,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Dark Horse, you're welcome to subscribe. That would be awesome.
And
hopefully we take requests for true crime, and we do classic true crime stories, like anything you can think of,
and
crimes. unsolved.
And
solved.
also, we're thinking about doing some fictional scary stories too, but we'll definitely let people know if something that we tell is fictional, because we're some of the like the classic campfire scary stories and stuff like that. Also, I've been noticing some more really good stuff over on creepypasta and stuff like that, and going,
Talk
oh wow,
about-
that's a scary story. And because it's fun to be scared. Especially when you're safe and cuddly.
A woo woo night.
Let's have a woo woo night. Okay. Tell me about the woo woo night. And
I think I
it's
know,
like,
but
it's like with over at Trish.
yeah, I thought there was something going on with that.
And I
Trish's
forgot exactly what she does on Woo Woo Night, but I remember going there
used
and
to
seeing
frequent
that
there
there
a
was a Woo
lot.
Woo Night, and I remember seeing the you know, the little blurb saying it was a Woo Woo Night.
Refresh our memory. Oh, brownouts, really?
Yeah, but that's funny.
We know what that means.
But also
though.
true. But also I wouldn't be surprised if it's true because of having scary storytelling. Yeah, that'd be good.
We definitely need to tell some more scary stories.
Yeah. Definitely more of those, because it has come to my attention that most of us that enjoy talking and dissing about true crime and stuff, dishing, not dissing, dishing about true crime and stuff, we also like to be scared. We tend to like some scary movies and scary stories, scary books, stuff like that too.
What's the scariest book you've read?
Um,
It can be true or it can be fictional.
Okay, let me tell you. One book I read. I mean, of course, people get scared by watching scary movies and stuff. Well, I terrified myself by reading a book. And when I was a kid, it was called the Amityville Horror. And I read the book because I wasn't allowed to watch the movie. And my parents, no matter how much I begged, whatever chores I promised to do, etc., they would not let me see the movie. And since they wouldn't let me see the movie, and would not let me see the movie, I read the book, and oh my god, I was so scared for so long. And yeah, books, fiction and nonfiction. I love both types. Most of what I own, though, are nonfiction books. And
True crime memoir.
The Shining.
Oh, I
Jack
love
Nicholson.
that Jack
Oh.
Nicholson guy.
Oh my God, Jack Nicholson. That was a really good one. And took place in the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. And the Stanley is quite an interesting place. And anybody else also like the spooky and the paranormal and stuff? Because
We don't do a lot of spooky and paranormal,
but
once in a great
just
while.
just for fun,
put one up.
off the books or whatever, we went and did a spirit box type thing over there at the Stanley because we could.
Because we were there.
We just wanted to see what would happen.
We met this entity.
And I forgot what it called
Can't
itself.
remember the name.
But
It's
it was really
crazy.
crazy because other people that had been with us and actually had gone on the tour inside, because we had some people that were underage and couldn't go on the ghost tour of the Stanley. And so, we just did the spirit box thing and everything. And, we got some scary, interesting stuff. And then the people that were on the tour came back and were talking to us later. And then they mentioned being told of an entity that had the exact same name as what came through on the spirit box. Yeah, one flew over the cuckoo's nest. That's a good one.
We met.
And also,
We met an entity when we were out doing boots on the ground too.
yeah,
Oh, scary. I don't want to go into it, but yeah.
yeah. So that's one of the things that we've
Every now
liked
and then.
doing over the years, and that's also one of the reasons why when we do visit scenes where things have happened in the past, we do place offerings.
You know, at
and,
Dorothea Puente's house,
oh, that's got some.
all those bodies in the yard and in the garden, there's got to be someone
Yeah,
should go
and-
by there with a spirit box.
Yeah, and actually, places where things have happened, a lot of times you can actually feel it. I mean, even if you don't believe in things like that, you can still feel it. You
What was
can
the
tell
last
that
place
there's
we
something.
were that was like that. We were just talking about this. Where it's all messed up.
Windyville, Missouri,
Oh.
near where the Cassidy Rainwater case took place. There's some real old, oppressive
Spookyville,
feeling.
they call that.
Yeah. And Journey says, I see ghosts.
Do you?
Yeah, that's. Yeah, and see that's a thing too, for us, and we've
Up
gone and-
near Cripple Creek,
mhm.
there are. Oh, dude. Oh,
Oh,
wow, Michael.
yeah, and I hope that that you felt comfortable with letting her go when you did. That you that you waited till you actually were ready to release her before you told her to move on, and
Sad, dude.
and yeah, that is sad, but that is something, and that's how come. Like I said, when we go to places where things have occurred, we'll leave offerings. We'll smudge the area and stuff, and we'll just try to bring peace to the area and stuff like that. And I'm looking forward to getting a few woo stories going on.
Go ahead, Journey. Tell us. She's over there in Wisconsin. There's some scary stuff out there on the cornfields.
Yeah, we will, Michael.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
hearing
Here,
screaming,
right now. Yeah.
Screaming
Yeah.
does the neighbors. Hey, what about that place in North Dakota? We heard children.
Oh,
And they
okay,
were-
okay. And I will even give the name of the town this time because, I couldn't get
It's
enough
on the channel, or it
research.
used to be.
We told a story, and it's a true story. And it was years ago, and it was after there was a lot of flooding in North Dakota, and we had been traveling along the two, and we followed some detours, and we ended up in a town called Drake, North Dakota. And we saw that like all the houses had big flower pots full of flowers
It was a very
in front of their
lovely
doors
old
and stuff. It
town.
was really pretty, and we saw all these flowers and stuff, but we didn't see any people. But we kept hearing kids laughing and talking and making noise, but we couldn't see them anywhere. And we kind of like did a little look-see around town, and we came across a little park that was, and there was nobody
I believe
there.
That park is
And-
an RV park.
Yeah, and they had an RV park near it and everything, and so we were thinking about stopping there. We ended up not stopping there.
No, we-
Anyway, and there was restrooms near it, and
in
Um,
churches.
there was churches nearby, and we kept hearing these kids, and our kids were getting antsy, so we decided to let them out and play. And while we were trying to decide whether we were going to shut down here, because it was a lovely town, but
It was real pretty.
but then there was some weird feel too around the playground area, like there was a swing that was moving, and we were at first we were going, well, there must be a breeze that we didn't quite feel or something, And we saw, um, and then there probably a very innocent reason for it, but there was a pair of sandals, kids' sandals, that were just kind of half in and half out of the, buried in the sand there, and there was nobody around, and but that probably had an innocent thing going on too. But then our littlest one, while our kids were climbing on the slide and everything, and our littlest one got ready to go down the slide, which was an enclosed slide, and then our
It's
littlest
fairly
one
modern plastic
let out
enclosed.
a blood curdling screaming. So I mean, it was a scream, like my blood ran cold, all of it. And I went running and tried to climb up on top of the slide to go in from the top to grab a hold of the little one. And I felt like something was pushing me backwards from that. And then I had an asthma attack. I couldn't breathe and everything. I felt pushed backwards. And another one of the kids tried to climb up and go in through the top. Another one tried to go up from the bottom and couldn't see, so they could just see darkness up in the top of the thing. And meanwhile, the one in the slide was screaming and screaming. And then he ended up coming through the bottom, and he was terrified, and he had wet himself and everything, and he just ran straight for the car, wouldn't look back or anything, was crying and shaking and everything. And the only thing he told us was eyes, that there were eyes in there. And we all felt creepy when we left.
And after that event, you could just listen. And what did you hear? Children laughing off in the
More
distance.
laughing,
Just
and like the laughter was going away, moving away from us, and
there were
we still couldn't see
big
anybody
100-year-old
anywhere.
churches were there. And as we left, we noticed that everyone had flowers planted in front of their doorways.
And then we were like, "How are you supposed to go in the door?" Because, so we're like, "Oh, this is weird." And so then we left.
Scary, dude. That baby, that little guy, I was never right after that.
Yeah. And yeah.
Well, good morning. Must be over around Sydney or somewhere, I guess. Well, yeah. No? Could be in the UK. I don't even know. We get so many different time zones. So that was our true story.
Vivarium.
What is this?
I'll have to look that up.
What is this Vivarium? I couldn't find a pen.
Where'd my pen go?
In the comments, they delete after the live show is over. I don't know where the pen went.
I found one.
There you go. So yes, we're looking for 10,000 subscribers. Oh, Dubai. Oh, Ahmed. Thank you for stopping by again. Remember you from the other night. Yeah, definitely. You're the same guy from the other night. Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never guessed it was what time in Dubai.
Yeah.
We don't get many Dubai people on the channel. Good to see you again. Did you like our story we just told? That was true. Hold still, phone. Jeez. Yeah, that was our true story. One of the many ones.
Oh, no.
Our true ghost story. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis, Missouri, I assume. Up there in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Ahmed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna try to start doing more
We did
shorts.
a Missouri story or 3 or 10 on this channel before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably have like at least 10 Missouri stories on this channel. At least. Lots of trouble over there in Missouri. Not so much out of Kansas City and St. Louis though. It's all like in the middle of the state along the 70, or it's way down in the boot heel way down
It's
south, or in the
all
middle.
in the places that have the terrain that have the okay, there's certain terrain, there's certain vegetation, and then there's the swampy stuff too, and the water. So
The water
lots of
runs
things.
silent and deep over there too.
Mhm.
Just black water.
Yeah.
Just scary. Scary places out there in rural Missouri. Jules does tell a good story, doesn't she?
Oh, somebody used to drive a big rig.
Where's that?
Oh, the caves in Missouri. Okay, yeah.
Oh, over Springfield.
Over by Springfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we're a little familiar with Missouri. We have a lot of stories over there.
hmm
Tell us about that cave. What's that like?
The caves, the storage, there's storage in them and everything. And
Yeah, I see them
and
on
you remember
YouTube
how it's-
sometimes, yeah.
yeah.
But as a resident over there, or a visitor, or just passing through, you don't know where those trucks are going.
Yeah.
It's going underground somewhere. Oh, they're called the Craft Caves. Oops.
Well, yeah. Well, Kraft is there, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Ghost stories about the Lemp Brewery. Here you go. Maybe we'll do that story tomorrow. Sure. Especially if it's a crime story and a ghost story.
But anything scary is good for October.
Yeah, we're looking for 10,000 subs.
So yeah.
It could happen. Yes, we are global. Thank you, Ahmed. I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm not going to try the second part of your name.
Yeah, we should have a ghost story night, guys. I think I'm gonna put something into the community about that to find out when
I was
would be the
watching
best time for everybody
Oh,
to
hold
do
still,
ghost
phone.
story night.
I was watching some guys. It may have been over there near Dubai, where they would get their cars up on two wheels, and they just found great entertainment in that. It was their thing to ride their cars on two wheels. Is that what happening over there in Dubai? Do you remember watching those guys on YouTube?
Yeah, and I don't remember where that was, but if you told me Dubai, if you told me Dubai, I'd be like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Sounds right, but call in ghost stories.
The Terminator.
Love the Terminator. Well, I don't know about you, but I did like the movie though.
It'll be back.
I'm like, oh, I thought we were talking about the Terminator, but it's just somebody in chat. Welcome to our show. Jules is the storyteller extraordinaire over here. I do the research and work the chat.
It means I'm a big mouth and I like to talk.
And she used to have me behind the camera, but then one day she said, "You gonna come on with me?" And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe.
So is it Dubai where the people are doing that crazy stuff with the cars, driving all Looney Tunes and like some of them hanging halfway out of the car to try to keep it from tipping over all the way and stuff? I guess that maybe it is because
Hey, where
Where'd
did
that
they
come on?
drive those cars, dude?
What cars?
On two wheels
What?
in Dubai?
Oh, that's Saudi Arabia.
oh, it's in
Oh,
Saudi
it's in
Arabia.
Saudi. Oh.
No, that's Saudi. Yeah, he said it already.
All
He
right,
said,
sorry
no, that's
about-
Saudi Arabia.
Those
Okay.
Saudi guys.
Crazy.
Yeah, we don't know much about that.
Saudi women too.
No offense on me.
Yeah, we just don't know. We don't know very much.
They don't come on our channel very often. That
Like-
part of the world.
I was on YouTube. I saw a video in Arabic or whatever language it was, and it was just these two women in the car, and then they start driving on two wheels.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. No, that's Saudi. Says it. You've seen those guys on YouTube, though. Is okay. I don't want to say anything. Compare the two locations.
You've been to the one.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're about ready to shut
Okay,
this down.
now we're getting to the point where we're gonna have our son play some music for you before we leave. We're just gonna sit here and listen to him
You
play
have a
music and let you
musical
guys
request
chat
tonight?
with each other.
We're gonna play some. Oh, I don't know. What are we gonna play? We know we lost a rock legend, Ozzy Osbourne, not too long ago. Yes, remember to like and subscribe. Help us reach a 10,000. I think something magic happens to the analytics when you hit 10,000. I think you start to grow more after that. Maybe. Oh, we hope Willie makes it. No? That's for Willie. Nice. You know any
I've seen a
Satriani?
request for blues.
No. Request for what?
Somebody said the blues.
Hey, thank you, Ahmed, for stopping in. Hopefully, you'll stop in early for our story time. Youngblood. I just recently figured out
Yeah.
who Youngblood was. Sings with Steven Tyler. Yes, that's live.
Yep.
That's
That's
not,
our son.
That's not a clanker. That's real.
Yeah.
That's, that guy, he didn't send a super chat, so you can't kiss me.
Oh. Well then, I can't kiss you until somebody. What a bummer.
Husband and wife channel, by the way.
And son,
And our child.
he's an adult.
Look at all the comments that didn't scroll. We try to stream almost every day.
Yeah, we do try to stream every day.
I put up some
I
shorts.
missed a couple times because I haven't.
She had a cold real bad the last couple of days. I put up a couple shorts today. We did. We're gonna go back to long form content sometime after we hit 10,000.
Yeah, but we'll still do streams.
But we'll still stream as well. May end up going horizontal and vertical at the same time. YouTube has let us know that that's a thing.
What?
Yeah. You can use both formats. Oh, so there's a person playing guitar. Yeah. What song is it you want to hear? Blue Oyster Cult?
Can't play the one.
It's been a while.
No.
That's a classic, dude. I was telling her things. Made her smile, huh?
Yeah.
Ready? Yeah. We've been married forever. Many, many years. Moss. Crab. Good night, Michael Wilbur. Thank you for stopping by. Sometimes I'll use both their names and sometimes just one. Yes. Can you guys name that song? We'll play Name That Riff. We don't have anything to send you presently, but we'll be getting some merch. And we can send out some things for me. Name That Riff. Name that song. Oh, yeah, Michael. I think he knows that song, Michael. As soon as he House of Rising Sun.
Oh man.
Stumped him. That was cool. Crazy on You. Is that a heart song?
Yeah.
Let us know if that's a heart song, dude. Kimberly H. You know Heart, right? Jim, one heart song. Catching up on comments. Yes, Crazy on You is a heart song.
Yeah,
I knew that, but he's
I don't know it though.
crazy on you. Let me go. Crazy, crazy, crazy on you. I don't know that one. Dude.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. The Forbidden Song. Okay, Terminators. Thanks for stopping by and giving us a chance to entertain you. We'll get some true crime stuff going on later. Probably tomorrow. Do current events.
Oh wait, I just learned this one.
Oh. Dude. Uncle Tom's Cabin. Janie Lane. We talked about Janie Lane. Something bad happened to him. Kind of a true crime thing.
Definitely crime.
Yeah.
It's definitely a crime. These people look to be what? What does it say? These people. Oh, I think Karen deleted it. No?
What's it say?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was deleted.
Okay.
Justice.
No, we're
Pretentious.
the real deal. Us and our son.
I am pretentious.
Jack, Jules, and Jay.
No, pretentious are the freaking channels that use clankers, that use robots for everything. We're gonna use robots on this channel. Well, maybe for text. questions, but so where's all of our old timers at? I think we lost all of our old timers, and
Well,
since we started doing this new format stuff, we don't get any of our old timers back in here.
I like the people that are here. So,
I know Journey's been around forever.
Ah. Be happy, Freebird. And what was the other one I missed?
I don't know, is it up here?
Oh. I like to live in the day. Be happy and Freebird.
No. Kimberly, thank you for sticking around, even after the new format.
Oh, somebody referred to us as pretending
What are we pretending?
to be young. Yeah, I don't know.
No.
No, we're just us, and this is our style.
This is my wife.
and our
That's
son over
our
there,
son.
and he's really playing the guitar.
U.S. politics to remind me
We're just passing time now. In case you're just stopping by, we're a true crime channel, and we're at the end of our show. We're just talking and chat.
And letting our son play guitar while people finish out their conversations with each other and everything, because it's all about hanging out together too. And it looks like he may have put the guitar down. No? Okay.
I know you're working on a new song today. What was it? All day you were working on it.
already.
Play it
He already
again.
played it.
Oh, pretending to be hippies.
Oh,
Ah,
who's pretending?
we can be hippies. I know a lot of hippies. Hippie metalheads.
Yeah.
You know who's a hippie? Doc from Z Nation.
Z Nation. Dog.
Don't let the tie-dye throw you off. It's just colorful. Pretentious and pretending. There was another true crime channel that was toying with true crime and bringing guitar in for a while. Remember that guy?
By the way,
That's
nobody
okay.
named the riff,
Yeah.
did they?
Nobody named the riff.
And I am happy, and I got my favorite guys with me, my hubby and my son. thought I was gonna cough.
Don't you
So I
dare.
was warning you.
Thank you, moderators, for being here. Thank you, all of our visitors, for stopping by, and our channel followers, commenters, except for the rude ones that had to be hidden away to
Yeah.
never be seen again. You guys can just create a new user and come back and see us tomorrow. Anything rude, you won't
As
be able
Bill
to
and
come
Ted
back.
say, be excellent to one another.
Dude, that's like way old.
Yeah. I'm way old.
Hey, don't we have still a Bill and Ted movie we need to watch? The newest one? Let's see that one.
Yeah, but kiddo hasn't seen them all, so we have to start with the first one. I have the whole collection.
Jimmy White. Does that say White? Yeah.
I've seen the first one.
So do you
And I heard
guys?
the second one too.
Okay.
Do you remember that terrible TV show called The Pretender?
That one was good. I liked it. I like Severance better than I'm waiting for the next season to drop.
You guys be watching Severance? Hmm?
Apple TV, Severance. Oh my god. I gotta rewatch all of it while I'm waiting for the next season.
What the heck? Oh. What the heck are these emoticon guys?
That was the Severance theme, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah,
By
Severance
ear, I
theme.
never like learned it. That's just how I
Yeah, but
think
we've been
it
studying
goes.
it though.
I'm watching.
So what do you think will happen to Mark and Helly? What do you think will happen, guys? Do you guys follow along Apple TV? Oh, I found out something on Apple TV. Jason Momoa. Oh, did you see what he did? Did you see what Jason Momoa did?
He shaved his beard.
Oh my god. He looks kind of funny.
Dune
now.
3 coming out. Or work starting on, whatever.
See, we talk about different shit now.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. At first I was disappointed when
What's that
the
last
first
one?
Dune,
I don't know, where is
the
it?
first new Dune came out, and I was like, what? This is only a part of the Dune. Because I remember watching Dune. I don't think it was when it first came out or anything though, but I remember seeing Dune on like one of the movie channels or something, and I think Sting was in it and stuff. Anyway,
Oh,
that
what?
was a good, the original Dune movie, and then it turns out that this new Dune movie is being done in a few different parts, and that's how come
You know what
it
song
wasn't
this guy
all in the
deserves?
first.
Do it. Can you guys name that song? We're not going to give it away.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to tell you what that song is. If you know, you know.
You might be about some agricultural profession.
I guarantee nobody's going to know that song.
So anyway,
And if you do,
I guess
this is a safe place for you.
we'll get going now, and see you guys tomorrow night. Unless we see you before then.
Good night, everybody.
So, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, as Truman would say.
Yeah, we can just go ahead and hide that Liam guy. He doesn't need to come back if you don't like him. You guys run that community as you see fit.
Yeah.
If he's being obnoxious, and why are we
Yeah,
still
especially
talking
he's
about?
picking on somebody.
Why are we still talking about pretentious versus pretenders?
Well, he seems to be maybe picking at some one of our moderators or something, and while it's
Okay, Liam,
okay
you
to
can stay.
disagree about stuff, it's okay.
I'm glad Liam spoke up because
Oh,
he says he likes it
Liam
here.
likes to BS. Oh, okay.
You can stay, dude, because it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. It's
if-
just I didn't know if somebody was getting like attacked or anything like that, and it's just that well, it's okay to disagree with each other and all that kind of stuff. I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable being here either.
But if my mods see it fit to delete you, I'm not gonna argue with them.
Okay. So anyway,
I said mine. So our odds.
our mods, yes, our topics.
Cool. Is that the end of our musical show for the night?
I think.
All
we'll
right.
end the show by fading the line.
One more
Okay.
song, guys. Somebody name that song. Hmm? Let me tell you again. Really? I could put it here and I could see it. Hi, Agnes Mora. Welcome to our show. It's over now. That was
we're back tomorrow.
Metallica. A little song we like to call Fade to Black, as they do too.
We like to call it. They like to call it. Everybody calls it.
It was written in like 1985.
So we will see all of you tomorrow. Hopefully. I mean, we'll be there, but
James
you know, we
Hetfield
hope you
wrote
will
Fade to
too.
Black after his amplifiers and guitars and all of his stuff got stolen. And that's
Oh.
why it's on an acoustic guitar.
I remember
because
that.
all of his electric gear got stolen.
From where?
The band.
What
Okay.
city?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
A
Well,
piece of metal history.
Where they live.
good night, Susie. Good night, Agnes. And Karen, thank you for moderating tonight. Journey, thank you for being a mod. Journey's a
Thank
mod,
you
aren't
to
you?
all our mods.
Okay. Karen Lee. Well, our music is done.
Yep.
It's time for us to go.
Yep.
Blink.
I don't think you pushed the button.
Gotta push that button again.